meal.
Well, I will say this. I am taken aback a little bit of the thought of keeping
A dead body on
a
ice.
loved one near me for 2 months on ice in my back casita. People cope differently. You don't know until you're in it. At least for me currently, I don't know if I could personally do that.
Okay, that's Andy's response. I'm going to say it's fucking weird. I get it. I get it. Grief is challenging.
It's the Pop Report.
So juicy.
Miss Juicy Baby.
Hi.
Hey,
What?
what's your sing song of the week? What's your like?
It's Miss Juicy Baby. No, what is my... I don't know. Now I have to think of one.
You don't have one?
Not at this current moment. But the day is young.
Is it?
I'm trying to think. Which one? I don't know. I don't think... I haven't really been on the Tickety Talk. I haven't been on...
You sound like a 47-year-old woman going through her social on her Facebook and complaining about the Tickety Talk.
I'm not complaining about it. I just haven't spent a lot of time on the Tickety Talk, and that's normally where I get my songs from. Whatever's trending on the Tickety Talk is where I get my songs from. And I just haven't spent enough time on the Tickety Talk this weekend.
Okay, stop. How are you?
I'm good.
Like, what's new with you?
I have been on like a full Menendez Brothers deep dive, and I finished the Ryan Murphy series. I've watched the Netflix documentary. I've been reading things online. I've been trying to like go back and consume as much of the info as I can. I did a whole deep dive breakdown on No Filter this morning, so I'm fully Menendezed out.
If you don't keep up with No Filter with Zack, you probably, I don't know, came across this podcast organically, but obviously check out No Filter and see Zack's manic meltdowns of checking out Menendez Brothers and more.
Listen, I'm so invested. I'm now like full Team Kardashian on this.
Are you full Joel Kim booster?
No.
Okay. Anyway, I saw you also house a dog for 48 hours.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. We found a dog and a giant husky. Very gorgeous.
You love the big boys.
For whatever reason, I was like, oh, I'll take him in for the night until we find his owner.
Sounds like a normal Zack story.
And so I just did. And then I got home and I was like, oh shit, I have 3 big dogs right now. Yeah. And also I haven't introduced my dogs to this dog, and I have not introduced this dog to my dogs. I don't know how this is going to go down. And so it was a lot, but we got through it. It was an interesting time, but we did it. And we found the owner. The dog's name is Pepper. Pepper has been reunited with his owner.
Wow. You've definitely had a full kit and caboodle lately.
How about you?
I mean, I'm just here living my best life and just had a couple Aperol spritzes this weekend and sat on the couch.
Fun. I love a good Aperol spritz.
I'm in the market to shop for a new car, maybe. I don't know. I just living my suburban motherly life, it sounds like on the surface, but, you know.
In your fall colors.
In my fall colors, sipping. I sipped apple cider this weekend.
Okay, we need to talk about the apple cider because the internet had really dragged me for my comments. I didn't realize apple cider was such a popular thing.
You know, I was disappointed in you, but the internet came back for me in my side.
Yeah, which rarely happens. But... But I will say, I was just randomly scrolling on the Tickety Talk. I think it was on a Sunday or a Saturday, and I was just scrolling through before bed, and then I see the video, and I was like, oh, that's me. And then I was like, oh, this is the Pop Report TikTok account. Like, it came up in my For You feed. And then I was like, oh, we have a lot of comments. I wonder what people are saying. And they're all just defending apple cider. And I'm like, I didn't realize apple cider was a thing. We don't drink apple cider here in Los Angeles, and also people were also like confused.
Hold on. I sat at home, fat on my couch with some spiked apple cider, it from Trader Joe's.
You're not
and do the damn
from
thing.
Los Angeles.
I live here though.
Yes, but you're not. You were cultured a different way. Apparently, I really am not cultured. But also, I want to clarify my comments about eggnog, because I said drinking apple cider is like drinking eggnog, and so many people were like, "Who doesn't drink eggnog around Christmas time?"
Eggnog's different. That's a different thing. But if you don't go to Trader Joe's and don't stumble upon the fall stuff, then you have no excuse to not drink apple cider.
Well, I mean, first of all, everything at Trader Joe's is fucking apple cider and pumpkin spice. Like, it's the whole store becomes the flavor.
I did stock up a little too much and spent a fair amount of money on pumpkin gnocchi. Like $6.
Interesting. But yeah, apparently
Anyway.
people love apple cider spiked, and apparently people have never heard of unspiked eggnog. Which,
Yeah.
to me,
That's weird.
I grew up drinking eggnog, so it was called Christmas milk. You'd buy it in the carton, and that's what I would have.
Christmas milk?
That's what I was a child. That's what we
That's
called
what,
it.
Oh, I thought that's what the box said. And I was like,
No, it was called
Christmas
eggnog,
milk?
but we called
Mommy's
it
milk?
Christmas milk because that's what we would drink around Christmas time. And obviously, I didn't know you spiked eggnog because it was available at the market, and I was drinking it. So
Can you imagine turnt little Zach drinking spiked eggnog by accident?
Oh, I think
I
would
think
have loved it.
every mother would have nightmares. Into our stories, though. Obviously, if you haven't subscribed to the Pop Report, you totally should. But what is our hot in the headline, Zach? I saw you slotted something in here, and you were telling me about this before, and I was a little taken aback, I will say, from this story.
Yes. So Lisa Marie Presley, rest in peace. Her new book is coming out. She's deceased, but her daughter Riley is helped complete the book and is now spearheading the release of the book. And so in the book, it's revealed that her son, Benjamin, who they called Ben, he obviously committed suicide back in 2020. Following his passing, she kept his body for 2 months in her Calabasas casita because she wasn't ready to let go.
And
So
for those people who don't know what a casita is, can you explain to them what that is?
it's like a little back house.
It's like a bonus house in
Yeah.
the back, like almost like a little garage, but it's another separate.
So-
Saying casita makes you sound like, wow, affluent.
Well, I mean, it's Lisa Marie Presley.
Yeah.
But so she kept her son in her Calabasas casita for 2 months. She just kept his body on ice. And apparently she enjoyed the process because it was like she was still able to care for her son in those 2 months leading up to it. And part of
Leading up to what?
the burial,
Oh,
because she just wasn't ready to bury him. And not only that, she couldn't make a decision whether she wanted him buried in Hawaii or whether she wanted him buried in Greenland.
where did she end up burying him?
I don't know. The book didn't, I don't think that was revealed.
Well, I will say this. I am taken aback a little bit of the thought of keeping
A dead body on ice.
a loved one near me for 2 months on ice in my back casita. People cope differently. You don't know until you're in it. At least for me currently, I don't know if I could personally do that.
Okay, that's Andy's response. I'm going to say it's fucking weird. I get it. I get it. Grief is challenging. I've been through heavy grief. I understand it.
I am grief. That should be a movie.
But like, it's a little much. Like, this is where the family needs to step in and be like, okay, I know we're in shock. I know we're processing
Did anybody
our emotions.
know about this though?
Her kids did.
My question is, if you're going to keep someone on ice like Lisa Marie Presley did and keep your son in your back casita, not only are you keeping him for 2 months, but somehow you're getting enough ice for 2 months.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm like, I get it. Coping is different, but can you go to the market and get me some ice for my son's body?
We have some ice in the back.
I don't know. Like coping is hard. Death is hard. I don't know if I could personally do that and just.
I just think it would delay the grieving process, right? Because you're then not able to. I mean, I guess it does kind of.
I mean, a bunch of people. I mean, we had Mary on the podcast lately, and she in Selling Sunset, with Jason actually like split ashes of their dog, and then they spread the ashes and they had a funeral. There's things that I would not necessarily do on like the passing of a loved one or a pet, but like until you're in it, you don't know.
I've never lost a child, but like I said, I've been through an intense grieving process with the loss of a loved one. And like, I can't understand that. I relate. I can empathize with her, and I can relate on how difficult grief can be. And I can tell you, it will mess with you and it will like crack your sense of sanity. But I mean, they obviously, when she passed away, she had opioids in her system. Sorry, I switched to my Invisalign. I'm trying to learn how to talk with my new jaw. But she did have opioids in her system. So I would imagine maybe there was some possible substances that she was leaning on to cope with that grief. And she even acknowledges in the book too. She's like, I know it's fucking weird. And I know people would probably be scared of, keeping a dead body on ice in your house for that long. But she said that for
in your
her,
casita.
in her casita. For her, it was, I guess, a bonding experience because she was able to still take care of her son.
I'd love to have a casita and have a bonding experience with anybody. I'm not gonna lie. That's different. Anyway, like, I don't know, just like come hang in my casita or like.
So what happens when they do the embalming process?
I know you have a few days until the embalming process. So the fact that you're able to keep the body for 2 months, freezing it on ice, that's a lot.
No, but my question is, why keep it on ice and not just embalm it?
I think the decaying process starts to happen of some sort when you I don't know. I'm not an expert. I think we should go to the next story.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how to respond to that.
Okay, well, let's get into some music news.
Well, before you get into music, obviously, the Pop Report is about to hit 50 episodes soon.
Woo, woo.
How did we do that?
We trailblazed.
Right, don't know. That's the real answer.
It just happened.
It just
we
happened.
just showed up and we got here.
We just flew by the seat of our pants and somehow we're still here and you all like it. But if you love it, obviously subscribe wherever you're watching. And if you're listening, you know, do the damn thing. But we are into music. And I feel like since the beginning of this podcast, which I brought up near 50 episodes, we've been talking about Charlie because that was near the beginning of this year. And she is still lasting on this album cycle like a Katy Perry Teenage Dream. She has now announced all of the remixes for her installment of the Brat Deluxe, basically. I'm not going to say the full name. It's too much. But there are 6 remixes that are previously released with Robin, with Troy, and we have few new ones coming to the stage. So we have Bon Iver is on a remix. We have Ariana Grande on Sympathy as a Knife.
Okay.
And there was a leak originally that came out saying Ariana is on Sympathy with a Knife. And when all the reports started coming about Lorde, people were like, okay, maybe she isn't, but they knew she recorded it at least with Charlie at the time. So these are all like logged back for a while. I should probably look up like the full list, but like overall, it's looking pretty good. I don't know how pulled off like all of these collaborators on this, but how she announced it was actually kind of funny. She had the entire track list at her concert and she gave it to a fan. She's like, someone post a picture of this after the show and post it online so everyone can see it. And then she actually put the full track list up like yesterday. So yeah, in total, we have like the Japanese House. Tinashe is on there. You know Tinashe?
No.
Slumber Party with Britney Spears?
No.
Okay, well. Shy Girl, Julian Casablancas. We have previous ones like with Addison Rae and like Billie Eilish that are being a part of the remix album, but
I know Mike Will.
Mike Will made it?
Yeah.
What?
He's not on it?
No.
Oh.
What?
Well, because I was you're like, do you know this? But I was like, no, but I know Mike Will.
You remember that like 2010s, like every track would be like, Mike Will made it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be like, that's the Bangers album with Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
Like that, it's ingrained in my head.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of.
I'm going to
That's a
see
great
Charlie.
album.
It is. I'm going to see Charlie on October 15th, which I'm upset.
Why?
Because when she announced the Sweat Tour, it was like limited dates, her and Troy, and then it sold out. So I'm in like the tippy top at the Forum, and then she's like, another show. And I'm like, well, I want to be on the floor now.
Another one.
But the resale tickets for Charlie obviously have gone up astronomically since the success of her album. So it is very interesting looking at when we first started talking about this album to where we are now.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised that we're still talking about this album.
I know. It's
Been
not
a
like,
minute.
I don't think I'm tired of it because I think all the remixes and like the new additions, I think I kind of want to see some more visuals maybe.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of visuals.
But we
with
got
her.
a lot churned out within like a summer. We got the guest music video.
Yeah.
We got the 360 music
That's why it
video.
was Brat Summer.
And now we're in, I don't know,
Fall.
Broadham. Brat Autumn.
No, don't do that.
Broadham.
No.
So that's your.
Because Broadham sounds like brats.
You mean like Brock from Pokemon?
No, like brats.
Anyway.
Brats, the sausages.
Oh, Bratwurst.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, speaking of Billie Eilish, she in our music news just came out and said for Vogue.
She's gay.
I mean, she at least was like, isn't it obvious? I thought it was obvious. Like, I full love the girls. But with Vogue, she's said lately, I don't ever want to talk about my dating life. I don't want to ever have a discussion. I should have never spoken about it. And how this originally came up was on a carpet for Variety. She was talking about how she loves the girls, and the interviewer, which actually someone I know, was like, what do you mean? And she's like, I don't know, I thought it was obvious. Like, I love the girls. Like, I'm for the girls. And so basically Billie's like, thanks, Variety. I didn't realize I was going to be coming out about my sexuality. But
hold on. No, I call bullshit because her guest remix song with Charlie XCX, the line in her song is
correct.
Charlie likes boys, but she knows I'd hit it.
So that came out after many months of this interview that originally stemmed, because she was like, let me.
But like now she's leaning into it, that you can't then be like, let me put the cat back in the back. Sorry, guys. I'm going to announce here, I'm going back in the closet. So nobody asked me about my sexuality moving forward.
I think it's just in this. We are always interested in who a celebrity is dating, but I guess
it's part of celebrity culture.
It is true.
It's the same thing with Chaperone. Don't go into it if you're not interested in it. Or do something like Lorde or Adele, where you keep yourself private and you try to, because I think Adele has done a really fine job of exploiting her personal life, but also keeping details private and keeping her personal life
What's
private.
her man's name? Her fiance? Rich Paul?
Mike Will.
No. But yeah, she even announced like subtly on stage that she was engaged.
Yeah, like she doesn't like the big spectacle and the charade, and she doesn't overexpose herself to the point where that's going to happen. She doesn't go and collab with Charlie XCX, one of the hottest pop stars of 2024, and talk about her sexuality in a song and then be like, whoa, sorry, never mind, JK. I just think we have to be mindful of the decisions that we make, and then, own that.
That's your opinion.
Don't blame the culture when you're leaning into the culture and benefiting from the culture and profiting off the culture. When come on, Guess is especially the remix. It's become such a big song, and it definitely made Billie part of the Brat Summer, which I think was great. And keeps her relevant and keeps her bills paid.
People are interested to see if she's going to appear for the LA dates for Charlie.
Probably.
I'd see it.
She's had a bunch of, she's the one, her and Troy, they've had a bunch of people pop in, a bunch of like surprise guests on their tour so far, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Shy Girl's opening. They've had Addison Rae come. They've had Lorde
Addison
come.
Rae,
So everyone's
Addison
like,
Rae.
that was Madison Square Garden. Can you imagine what the LA show is?
Yeah.
So I saw Casey Musgraves also last week. And let me tell you, every single gay person in Los Angeles was there, because every 2 feet I'd run into somebody. When you're gay and you're in media, you just keep running into people, and your friends are like, wow, you know a lot. I'm like, there's media relationships and there's gay relationships. Gay media, so many people. We see each other. Like, you ever go to somewhere and you're like, hey, I'm just trying to live my life with a baseball hat today.
I don't like going places.
Built different. I get it.
Built very different.
Built different. Lego kit.
You love going to all these events, and I can enjoy them.
I like my alone time too, though. Like,
you're
today,
a lot more social than I am.
This is my social time, this podcast today, and then I'm gonna go home and like
retreat.
sit. Yeah, I'm like, I've done something. I went to a group workout class today. I am overstimulated.
Wow. How was your group workout class?
How was your group workout class?
I wasn't able to do that.
I
this
feel like
morning.
that's like the, how's your bump? That's the new, how's your group workout class?
I wasn't able to work out this morning because obviously we have to be here early in the morning, and I have another podcast I have to tape first. But my group workout class yesterday was great because I hit a new PR on my 500-meter row benchmark challenge.
Were you playing guess?
No, I've asked for guests, and they've said no because it's not appropriate for all members.
Oh, we had a full Charlie XCX playlist yesterday.
I need that.
Yeah, it was great. It was remixes of the remixes. So I was like throwing it back while I was doing a little squat.
See, I love that.
Anyway, in our watch or skip though, what are some things that we should be on the radar for right now?
Well, watch the Menendez Brothers documentary on Netflix. It's 2 hours.
Oh, actually, I've been wanting to get to you.
What?
Continue with this thought, but I think you'd be proud of me. I did something.
Okay, please.
No, you first.
Oh, I watched the documentary. I thought it was I have so many thoughts now about like I feel like my opinion, especially about the Ryan Murphy controversy, has changed a bit now that I've been able to watch it in its full entirety. And I do have some critiques for Ryan Murphy about the series. I don't think they're the same critiques that people are up in arms about, because I'm like, wait, we could be upset about these other liberties that he took with the story, but I think the ones that people focused on were stupid.
Yes. So for background, the documentary came out, what was it, like a few days ago, of the Menendez brothers? So yesterday?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, you've already seen the full thing.
I watched it, half of it last night, half of it this morning at 5 a.m.
Okay, so continue. Sorry, I'm just setting the stage for your riveting story.
Okay. No, I'm just saying the documentary was done very well. It told the full story, and it kind of shifted my perspective that got me to the place where I'm like, I side with Kim Kardashian. I do think that they should have originally been charged with manslaughter. I don't think their motive was the money. I think the abuse was very real, and I think that the LA County was under a lot of heat following the Rodney King case and the O.J. Simpson case, and the lack of convictions that we had there. I think there was a lot of pressure under the LADA that pressured them to make this case, which was a big national case, the Menendez brothers case, and the second trial. They didn't want another mistrial. They didn't want the brothers to get off at all. So they really set it up so that it was going to be a first-degree murder conviction.
And the first trial was a hung jury, so they had to do a retrial. And the retrial, the evidence of like sexual misconduct and more was not applicable in here whatsoever. Is that correct?
They tried to present it, but it was much more limited. The judge really limited it because they basically said, like, you can't use the battered women excuse because these boys aren't battered women. Right. And so we're going to limit how far you get into that stuff. And so, like, Lyle didn't testify the second time around. The family members that, you know, could have added deeper testimony couldn't testify because there wasn't that foundation set by the defense because the judge limited it.
Yeah. And it's an unfortunate, sad conversation of, in that time, we looked at it as like, men don't get abused.
Yeah.
And so like now we're in the 2020s and everyone's like, okay, they were so abused, and there's now evidence that because they weren't able to consider that part of a limited case, they can now submit new evidence to, especially more people coming forward after this documentary.
Yeah, it is just wild that it really does feel like the justice system failed them in that way. That's not to say that they shouldn't have served any sort of prison time, and who knows how much they would have served had they actually been convicted of voluntary manslaughter. But like, there is a difference between, like, I don't know. I broke it down so much on No Filter this morning because I am so conflicted about, like, well, what is considered justice at this point, because there's like the murdering of their father that abused them, but then there's the murdering of their mother, and like, how justified was them murdering their mother on top of, you know, their father, and then, you know, just so much pieces of it.
But you would say the documentary is a watch?
Definitely a watch. It's long. It's 2 hours. Like I said, I had to break it up into 2 parts. But watch intently. That way you understand the details.
You know what also is a watch?
What
that I've now gotten a chance to, in our watch or skip reviews. I watched
Kristen
Nobody
Bell.
Wants This. Yeah. I binged it in 2 days.
And
I think the writing is amazing. I think the humor is great. I think it's great because of the element that is like the Jewish component. The podcasting part, it like has some fun moments to it of like, you know, people who look at stuff like us too, like, you can get paid for just giving your opinion. It's like, yeah, bitch. But hers is like, you're talking about sex and dating. Yeah. And you have people who still are like, I frown upon that you do that. Yeah. And then just overall, the comedy of it, I think was just great.
It was great.
The kids judging her, being like, I thought when I turned middle age, I thought I'd be more confident. It was like, these children.
It's really good. And I know I've heard that critique about featuring like them being podcasters, and like people dislike that, but it's like, but that's such a real thing.
It is a real thing, but
it's a real thing. Like,
it's two polar opposites of like, people can't believe you're a rabbi, and then people can't believe that she is a podcaster who gets paid to talk about sex.
Yeah. I mean, hello, my full-time job is I'm a podcaster. Like that's the reality is that like that's how people make their money now. And
Yeah.
like that's a reality of, a type of career
Yeah.
that's,
I would say it's a firm watch.
it's
Like,
so good.
it's a firm
And it's
watch, and
easy
there
to
will be
watch.
a season 2.
Because the episodes are like barely even a half hour.
They're
like
20
they're
minutes
very
at some
short.
points, and I'm like, hell yeah.
It's really good and it's really funny. So binge it over the weekend.
In regards to other things we haven't watched, but
Oh yeah, we have
maybe
more.
might. The Joker just flopped, unfortunately. I was hoping it would at least do decent. It's not for me. A couple quick takes on it before we get into our actual watch or skips before having any preconceived notion. Joker did 37 million, really
Ooh,
low.
That's bad.
It was rated a D on Cinema Score. It is a musical, and I think that really deterred people from going to see it. I think also the marketing was not the best because no one knows what the antagonist and protagonist is. It's like, what are we doing in the second film, like for Joker? So,
yeah, what is the purpose of the second film for Joker?
Don't know. Can't tell you, and that's, I think, poor marketing.
My understanding, I know Lady Gaga's in it, and my understanding that it's kind of just like their love story.
There also were reviews that they said we expected more appearances from Gaga in this. So there's a whole bunch of things that I think personally, switching to Gaga and having this new take on Harley Quinn also mixed audiences because in terms of people who did really well in that role, I think Margot Robbie really killed it as Harley Quinn. And
I
people
agree.
really resonate with that, and they really want to see her come back in some form.
And it's too soon,
It
right?
is.
We just had Margot Robbie, and now we're switching to Gaga. And I also feel like, again, I think hook with the first movie is people like a villain origin story. People like getting to know who the villain is and, the intricacies of like how they became who they are.
I don't think they needed a second one,
It didn't, because my point is the second one, from my understanding of the marketing, is it's more focused on the love story between him and Harley Quinn. And I don't think people care about that. I mean, the movie could be about something entirely different, but the fact that they're leaning so hard on, what's his name? Is it Joaquin Phoenix? Joaquin and Lady Gaga. The fact that they're the two that are kind of the front forward facing, it makes it seem like this romanticized, villain love story.
Yeah.
And to me, and it's a musical, and I'm like, fuck that.
Well, on the things that you're actually excited about to see, we have the Princess Diaries 3 has been announced.
I saw that Anne Hathaway over the weekend. She did a cute little video that showed a clip from when she said her iconic "shut up" line in the first Princess Diaries, and then we have Julie Andrews who said "shut up" in the second Princess Diaries movie, and then she's like "shut up 3," and then she's like "third movie's coming soon," which is exciting. But I'm also like, I'm waiting for it to materialize because we did this with Legally Blonde. Remember, we were supposed to get Legally Blonde 3 back in 2018. Reese Witherspoon announced that. Where is Legally Blonde 3?
And we also have, oh God, we have Freaky here for. I think there's a lot of
but that's actually
reinstallments,
coming out.
But I think they need to space them all out because we're gonna get overloaded. We just had a Mean Girls whole thing, and we need some new original IP.
That was dumb. The Mean Girls was dumb.
We also have a reality TV show coming out about Gordon Ramsay.
Yes. Vice TV has a new series coming out called The Dark Side of Reality TV, where it's supposedly exposing Gordon Ramsay for, how he was treating people during the filming of Hell's Kitchen.
I've seen some snippets of this.
I mean, I don't think anybody's shot. He was
that
young.
show was
it was that was the show. It wasn't like he was doing anything else behind the scenes. People are just talking about he would yell at us. And it's like, well, yeah, no fucking shit. The show's been on for what, 23 seasons now?
I think people aren't as shocked by it because on screen that's exactly what they expected to get. It'd be different if the lead, for example, was a kind, gentle, nurturing person like yourself, and behind the scenes you're a Shannon Bedore.
Yeah. Well, actually, Shannon Bedore responded to that.
I know. I just wanted to give a real life current day example. But we've obviously talked about a lot of things already, and we have still some more to get into. But I think at least for Princess Diaries, I'll give it a watch because I feel like I have to watch reinstating IPs.
Yeah.
And
if it materializes, Legally Blonde 3, I'm waiting for you.
As far as the Gordon Ramsay thing, I don't think I'm interested.
I'm not interested. It's nothing new. And they also, I think, present the fact that behind the scenes, he's way nice and he's the anti-Alan.
I will say that his restaurants are fine. At least the one in Vegas I went to,
been.
Hell's Kitchen, it was fine. It was just expensive for what it was. But In other news, we're moving on to our general news. We have some things that have come up about Garth Brooks we talked about in the previous episode or prior.
Yeah, last week about the sexual assault allegations from his former makeup artist.
And what is he saying now after addressing these allegations?
So he's now talking about it. He addressed it in a live stream over the weekend.
A live stream? I thought he put a
Or on
quote out and
Monday.
he did a live stream too?
He was on a live stream where he addressed his fans.
Got it.
And so he said, a lot has happened in the last 2 weeks. Let's address the elephant in the room, shall we? This thing is on. It's going to happen. And people are telling me that it could be up to 2 years. Okay? So my suggestion is, well, take a deep breath and we all just kind of settle in and let's hold hands and take this trip together because it is something that you cannot talk about. This is all we can say about it.
Hold hands?
As in, like, it's going to be a long ride. Like, let's strap in, let's hold hands and get through this together.
So he's not denying it?
He's not. Well, I believe. Well, no, he's not denying it. I believe he denied it in court, but he's not denying it in any public statements coming forward.
I think in that case, I feel like this fits in our legal debrief section. When someone is not outwardly denying it, they most of the time have some acknowledgement of some fault or like they could have crossed the line in some way.
He denied it in court.
Yeah.
He did deny it in his court filing. There was a denial. And I mean, if he's saying that this could take up to 2 years, then that tells me he's expecting to go to trial and he's not looking to settle.
Ooh.
Because if you were looking to settle, you'd have that. You could settle that in 6 months.
Never settle in life unless it's, I guess, in court? Question mark.
I mean, yeah, sometimes it's cheaper to settle than it is to go to trial. But
I mean,
if he's predicting 2 years, then it sounds like this is going to be an uphill battle for him.
Well, into our reality and couples corner, we've had a couple headlines pop up about some other people. I saw the headline about Kanye and Bianca, the divorce rumor, and people were like, she's tired, she's done. But now there's, I guess, the two of them shutting this down. Like,
yeah, they were spotted at a Tokyo mall packing on some major PDA, basically saying like, listen, nothing's wrong. She's not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. We're in this together. We're staying married. We're fine.
She's also a part of a lot of business now with Kanye. Like when it comes to his affairs, she's been appointed. And I love when all celebrities, their statement to the press when there are questions of infidel anymore, you get the ring flash, you get the packing on the PDA, you get the get my wife's name out of your mouth. So you have a lot of things that is like a statement without giving a statement.
Yeah. And also shutting down breakup rumors are Taylor and Travis. Remember last week we were talking about how she wasn't going to the shows. And so everybody was like, oh my God, they must be on the rocks. Well, now she finally went to a show and they were packing on all the PDA. So does this add to the speculation? Because then it's like, oh, are we trying to shut down the rumors because the rumors are true and now we're getting so hard with the PDA in front of everybody?
Busy. Like they're busy bitches. That's what I say. If someone doesn't come to a show, I'd be like, I sent you flowers.
I think they're probably
I didn't come to your
fine.
Birthday show. I wish I could have. I was a busy girl.
That's true.
Like, think of our daily lives.
Yeah, you're busy. And sometimes things happen and like you're doing other things.
Can you imagine being at that level, being like, I have family obligations. I don't know.
She doesn't need to go to every Chiefs game. Like, it's fine. She supports him. That doesn't mean that she's not like cheering for him from afar. If she doesn't go,
she went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Fine. She's like, I cleared my schedule for that. I made that.
She sees him after.
She flew back. Let's recall this. She flew back from Tokyo and made it to that Super Bowl. Remember the predictions that came through? Everyone's like, will she or won't she?
Yeah, she did.
She moved mountains to make it happen.
I mean, she's Taylor Swift. She doesn't have to work that hard to move a mountain.
I mean, she scheduled a whole tour around it. Can you imagine that? It'd be like, hi, tour manager. My boyfriend's playing at the Super Bowl. Can you like move some dates around this block? Cool. Thanks. Can you imagine? That request is funny.
It worked out. It seems they're still together, and she also seems to be in a good place with Brittany Mahomes because they were spotted chatting and hugging it out at this game too. She's pregnant right now.
Is she?
Brittany Mahomes, yeah, and she was wearing this cute little like Britney Spears inspired like red jumpsuit, like a leather red jumpsuit from what music video was that?
The red one?
Yeah, where she's in space. Is that Oops, I Did It Again? Yeah. Oops, I did it again. So Britney was out there wearing her little Britney-inspired outfit, and her and Taylor were hanging.
And our last bit of news is this legal update. We've obviously had Diddy updates. We've had different people in the time come forward.
His mom just spoke out, right?
His mom just spoke out. And so in the mom speaking out, she issued a statement when it comes to all of this, which honestly, I didn't know his mom was around or was
I didn't either.
I didn't know how close they were. But in her statement, she says, to bear witness what seems to be like a public lynching of my son before he has had the opportunity to prove his innocence is a pain too unbearable to put into words. And so she spoke to Page 6 about that. I think it is hard, probably as a family member, to watch someone go through this, but also you have to sit there and wonder when you're in denial at a point because of hundreds of people at this point now claiming they have an interaction. I think that is also a hard statement to put out as a family member.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine like as his mother, she wants to believe him and believe what he's telling her is the truth. But I mean, it's not looking good.
No.
It does not look good against him. Apparently, there are demand letters that have now gone out to a number of other celebrities.
A Change.org petition?
Not a change. No, they're demand letters, like letting them know, hey, guys, get ready. You're about to be pulled into this next. Now, they don't want to release any names because they don't want to cause a media frenzy. Because obviously, if there are a number of high-profile celebrities and they're all getting pulled into this, like the media will go crazy digging into all of them. So they're trying to, delay that a little bit. But demand letters have gone out, and there are a lot more names that are expected to be revealed. Apparently, Diddy's not holding back.
He's gonna drag everyone down with him.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. The next move is that. And so there will probably be some leak of some sort. Every week is something new, but everyone, I was at a brunch this weekend and someone was like, what do you think of the Diddy stuff? And I'm like, oh my God, it's Sunday. Like, let me sit and have like a fucking drink for a second. And they're like, so what do you think? Like, what do you know? I'm like, do I know anything directly near this? No. Do I know of the reports coming in? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm like, is it because we have to be on the pulse for like our jobs and for this and more? But it's like people, I forget, are so invested in this. Like people are wondering who work with celebrities, are my clients involved with this? And that was like the question that came up is like this person saying, I work with a celebrity who has been named on this list. Am I okay to work with this person? I'm like, don't know what to tell you. I have no idea. They can be just an attendee at a party, or they could be knowing what's going on and just look the other way. Do they know if they're actually fully involved? We won't know. But
do you think Ashton Kutcher will be dragged down with it?
I think everybody who has been to a party will be questioned more than they already are.
Probably.
Or have to release a statement of some sort.
Well, maybe not the parties, but I think at least the people that are on the tapes, right? I mean, or I'm sure he's going to give a list of names.
Name them.
I think he's ready to name them. He's ready.
Name them.
He's going to bring everybody. He's going to bring down the whole house of cards.
Well, speaking of bringing it down, I think that's a wrap on our news for today. We were coming in this being like, there's not a lot to talk about. There's a lot to talk about all the time. It's a whole kit and caboodle every time. Are you feeling festive and going to drink some spiced apple cider after this? What if I delivered it to your house? Are you gonna drink with me on my birthday?
Sure.
Some spiked apple cider.
I will drink it with you on your birthday. I don't know. I may have to try it for myself.
Okay.
Well, you said you put rum. Other people put whiskey.
Oh, that's hard. I'm rum all the way.
I've been in like a very old-fashioned mood lately. That like
I've been to bars with you. I know. I know.
That's my new. I went from vodka martinis to old fashions.
Yeah, you said no longer am I a bleached blonde, bad built butch body.
Oh,
I am gone with that.
I forgot. I ditched the vodka with the blonde hair.
What's the third?
Third what?
It always comes in threes. What else you ditching? Men.
They've never really been fully attached.
Yeah.
Well, they've been ditched.
Anyways,
we'll see.
Let us know your Halloween costumes in a comment if you're gonna dress up for anything? Are you going to dress up for anything coming up? Because this is the time to plan it.
I don't know. I never really dress up unless there's like
Unless there's a
something that I
Gwyneth
have
Paltrow party.
Yeah, unless there's a party that I have to dress up to go to. I did just get invited to a yappy hour for dogs at my building, and they encouraged us to dress up our dogs, but it's this week, and I'm a little confused because I'm like,
Get him a pumpkin sweater. That's what I do.
but like, it's the first week of October. It's not even like Halloween's next week. Why are we dressing up the dogs already?
You've got
like we just started.
You've got 3 weekends of spooky stuff left.
Yeah,
So plan it now.
I guess.
Well, on that note, we'll see you real soon and talk to y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.